Alright guys, welcome back, and we're going to pop off this awesome toy haul with a really cool find. Now you may have seen some stuff in the video that I didn't pick up. There's some stuff like, for instance, there was a Mikey TMNT wrestling figure, and I think he was Mikey the Macho Man, and that's already been sold off. I took that to a convention and that's already gone. So there's some things that you will not see that you already saw at the beginning of the video of the montage of me going around picking this stuff up at the thrift stores. So like I said, let's go ahead and pop off this epic toy haul. I've got a couple of videos coming out with just toys. I've got a couple coming out with just video games. But for right now, let's get to what I picked up in the last couple of weeks. Now I had this awesome pizza thrower found at a Goodwill, if I can remember correctly. This was found a while back ago. I found this with Will, actually. I was out there with Will, and I was surprised to see this on the shelf. There was a guy right in front of this thing, and he didn't pick it up. He was looking at the toys right above this on the shelf, and I snatched this from right underneath him, and I'm super glad. It's in really clean condition, guys. Oh my God. There's a price tag of $2.99 up there, and that thing is amazing. I'm surprised it came with the seat. The seat does come off. It's on 2 latches under here. And I'm surprised this thing is still intact. There is a pizza, Mikey Pizza sticker on the back, Ninja Pizza. And surprisingly enough, this thing isn't missing all that many pieces aside from the pizzas. We've got the pizzas missing. I think they come with this actual vehicle comes with about 8 pizzas, 4 pepperoni and 4 cheese. And there was also a handle that comes right there. There's a handle that's missing from the peg there. From the hole, there's a peg handle that goes there. And there's also a flag that I believe that goes into that peg right there. I ordered the pizza flip door. This came off of eBay. And as you can hear it, it actually sounds pretty good. For the most part, you hear those clicks. That means that the wheels aren't worn out. I don't know why they did that. It's not mechanical at all. It's just to make that sound. Now this separates into 2 pieces, and the battery compartment is kind of corroded here. If you can see there's some battery acid. Not so cool. I'm really anxious to see if this one actually works, because if it does, it's going straight into the collection, guys. Okay, next up we have a 1996 Star Wars Snowspeeder. Now, I found this at a local thrift store that I frequent. When I go up to Austin, there's a few that I hit up, and this just happens to be one of them, this thrift store. I love this thrift store. I found many good things at this thrift store, and for the most part, there's old ladies that work at this thrift store, and they only charge literally $1 for everything. They don't want to mess with prices. They're there to volunteer, and they don't really care. So I bought this and a couple of other things that I'm going to show you here in a second for like $3 or $4. The whole bag was like $3 or $4. And this is basically just for parts, or it's good to rebuild yourself. I'm not really into restorations. Oh, look at that. I just released that. How did I do that? I pushed the lever, but how do you reset it? Oh, there it goes. Check this out. The landing gear works pretty good. Oh, look at that. It's nice and steady. Cool. It's not even tilting or anything. It's awesome. Now, I guess if I take the time to actually clean this up and find all the parts, I'm sure this thing will look really nice. The gun is a little loose. I wouldn't even know how to begin to tighten that. That's really freaking loose right there. But for the most part, this thing looks immaculate. It's got a lot of battle damage on it, as you can see right there. There's a lot of battle damage to the vehicle. Now, if I can remember correctly, the original Snowspeeders came with stickers for battle damage. And from what I remember, you don't want to do that. You don't want to put the damage battle stickers on your original 1978 or 79 Snowspeeder. No, Hoff was not in 79. The Hoff battle was in 80. So the Snowspeeder you got for Christmas in 1980 or 81, don't mess with that one, because those original ones go for some good money if they're in complete condition and not messed up with battle damage stickers, guys. Okay, guys, next up I found a Delek. It's from Doctor Who. And I found this along with the Snowspeeder. And I don't know much about Doctor Who, I'm not going to lie. I just know that there's a lot of controversy going on right now because the new Doctor is going to be a woman. I, for the most part, don't care about shit like that. Guy, girl, don't really care. If it's good, then great. More power to the person playing the character. But if they're bad, I can see the hate that's going towards not because of gender. Don't judge a character for their gender. I don't think you should do that. If the character translates good to a female Doctor Who, then praise the show for it being innovative and for it continuing on. I know that show's been going on since, like, man, the freaking 60s, man. That's an old show, and in every Doctor that's been in that series has been a guy. So kudos to them for changing it up a little bit in 2017. But let's get back to this Delek or Delek. I found it's missing an arm. I don't know too much about this robot. On the bottom here, it says it's from 1963. I don't think you can actually see that pretty good because it's the stamp is the same color as the bottom base there. But from what I'm told, I shared this on Facebook, and from what I'm told, this actually is from 2010. They just couldn't change the stamp to that. I don't know why. But yeah, there's my little Delek or Dalek or whatever the hell you want to call this little guy. Okay, and now the last item I found with those other toys that I just showed you is this awesome Mickey and Minnie lunchbox. It's from Aladdin. Now, I love these Aladdin ones. They're not thermos. I love thermos as well, but I rarely come across the Aladdin ones. This one did not come, sadly, without the thermos. That really sucked. I can't tell what year this is from, since there's no stamp on here. It just says the Walt Disney Company down there at the bottom. Kind of peed off that they didn't put some type of year stamp on there. But if you know the year, let me know down in the comments. If you don't, I'm not pretty sure no one's gonna know. But this is a really cool lunchbox nonetheless. There's great artwork on there, and I know it's got to be from like the 80s. It's got to be, because it's using that metal latch up there, and they stopped using metal latches a long time ago. So that's why I know it's kind of old. Okay, next up we got Sully from Monsters Inc. I couldn't leave this little guy alone. This little plushie is so cool. I love everything about Monsters Inc. I actually liked Monsters University. I love the characters in it. I love the students that went along with that movie, especially the stoner guy. That guy made me laugh so hard. He was the one with the legs that were, he was one whole piece. The whole body was one angle, like one, it was 2 feet in the face. That guy was freaking hilarious. And I believe this is the Sully from Monsters University because he looks so young here. So I'm guessing this is Sully from that movie. His eyebrows do open up. You can see his eyes. So you can see his eyes a little better there. But for some reason they slouch down and cover his eyes a little bit. But he sits really nice on the shelf. And this is a really awesome little plushie toy that I plan on taking to retro. So if you're looking into Sully, or if you're looking into Monsters Inc, Monsters Inc stuff, I'll be having him at retro. Okay, another one I've been getting really lucky on to finding these plushies. I love plushies. I love themed based plushies. Not just any plushies. Not just any old teddy bear or anything. It's got to be from something for me to pick it up. And for all these things, they were like $1 a piece. I'm not going to leave them for $1, guys. And this Plankton is actually really cool because you get to move his antennas around. Look at that. It's metal wire, and you can shape it any which way you want. It's really cool. I honestly think that this one's the better of the plushies because you get to mess with Plankton's antennae. If you don't know, this is Mr. Plankton from SpongeBob SquarePants. He is the villain, if you will. He's not really a villain. He wants Mr. Krabs' recipe for the Krabby Patties, and he just never seems to get lucky at all. So, Mr. Plankton, you are now in my arsenal, and if you're looking for SpongeBob SquarePants plushie stuff, I'll have this little guy up at retro as well. Alright, next up we have Lotso from Toy Story 3. Now, he is made out of really hard plastic. He's not soft whatsoever like in the movie. And his full name is Lotso Love. They call him Lotso for short. And he is the villain of Part 3 of Toy Story. And I actually picked him up for 99 cents. All these toys are for 99 cents. I can't justify paying any more really for these toys myself while going out thrifting. But these are awesome. Oh my god. This guy stands up really nice. He displays really nice. And it looks like he came with something since his hand there looks like it's gripping something. Not sure what he came with. But for the most part, he looks really nice and he displays really, really good. He stands well. His feet don't move at all. They're just stamped. The only things that move are his arms. Just a good old 360. And his head rotates all the way around. Look at that. That is cool. Lotso, everybody. Okay, next up, I found a really cool figure from Reaction. They are the ones responsible for coming out with a lot of the Kenner molds that never made it to the light of day. I guess they bought all the molds from the old Kenner company. and they're coming out with their own versions of these toys, or had they come out in the 80s. But these toys here are really cool because they're giving you a glimpse of what the toys might have looked like had they came out back when the movies first came out. Now, Taxi Drivers is an odd figure to collect for if had they made toys for this movie, because this is not a kid's movie. This is a totally adult-orientated movie. You got Robert De Niro there. As the title suggests, he is the taxi driver that's literally criminally insane for a young Jodie Foster that happens to be like 13 or 14 years old, and she happens to be a prostitute, and he has this fantasy idea that he can save her, and shit goes south really fast in the movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really good. I highly recommend. And this toy is freaking awesome too. And for $1, honestly guys, you can't beat that. This is a really, really cool toy to have for really cheap. And there's a little inscription in the back there. It says, "You talking to me?" The famous quote. "You talking to me? You talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here." I know I didn't do that justice, but that's the famous line from the movie that everybody recognizes this from. Okay, next up I have a lot of shelf filler. I pick up these little toys mainly because I have a lot of people bringing their kids to Retropalooza, man. I've dealt with a lot of parents, I've dealt with a lot of kids, and the parents just let the kids go buck wild on my toy boxes. I have a bunch of toy boxes that I put under the table for $1, and I fill those boxes up with toys like this because there's tons and tons of kids that go for toys. Like, they love little toys, and for $1 their parents say, "Have at it, kids." And I also provide bags, so you can pick up as much little stuff like this as you want, and I'll have bags and bags and bags for you guys to just stuff full. And for $1, you really can't go wrong filling up a bag full of toys for $1 each. I think I do a special at 7 for $5, so you can even pick up 7 things for $5. And this awesome little plastic Sebastian is really cool. I love the movie, and these little stuffed toys. This brings back a lot of movies. A lot of kids nowadays get introduced to these old Disney movies by their parents. So this type of stuff is really hard to find out in the stores because they're no longer making toys for these old movies. So it's really cool to see these toys out in the wild still. Okay, next up I found this really cool, what seems to be a helicopter, but he's a transformer because he has a transformer symbol right there. It's really cool to see that transformer symbol. That right away gave it away that this is a transforming robot. So as I saw it there looking like this as a helicopter, now this doesn't very well function well because the back rotor blade actually hits, and this tail doesn't go down, so the rotor actually hits the tail, so it makes it non-functioning. So it's either it'll be good stationary, or if you can see this, all you gotta do is separate his legs. Separate his leg. Oh, did I do that right? His helmet usually goes up. Oh, that's what it is. Check this out. So you just flip in the arms and everything transforms. You flip it back, he's back into robot mode. But once you flip his arms in, he becomes a nice cool robot. Check that out. He stands up really well too, so he'll probably display well. His arms don't move for crap, obviously. They don't rotate, but that's cool that it's like a trigger for the helmet bubble. Look at that. That's really cool. So if I was going to display him, I think I'd display him as a robot since he takes up way less space going up rather than taking up space going this way. So yeah, that was a cool find for $1. Okay, next up at a Goodwill, I found these really cool McDonald's Happy Meal toys. This was back in the 90s. This was a show that came out on, if you guys remember, if you're old like me, you guys will remember TGIF. And there was a show on there that passed that was called Dinosaurs. And most famously, this little guy right here made the show famous. His name was Baby. And if you guys remember him, all he did was hit Earl over the head with this frying pan and would say, "Not the mama, not the mama, not the mama." So I remember for a Christmas, we got the board game for this on one Christmas, and I don't know what the hell happened to it. It's easy enough to find, but these are really cool in the sense that, well, they're really old first of all. So the fact that this thing still kind of moves, it's based on air pressure from this little trigger here. So it fills up this air hose full of air, and it just makes his lunchbox move. His one arm just moves. That's pretty much it, and his head kind of tilts. That's pretty cool. Baby I think he just flings the frying pan. Yeah, see, there you go. Not the mama, not the mama. He's like saying, "What's up, what's up, what's up?" And the grandma does literally nothing. This one's a waste of a Happy Meal right here. All she does is wiggle her tail. That's all she does. That's it. Not even the front does anything. It's literally just a tail. Oh, and then it gets stuck. Of course it would. See, all that's all she does. Oh wait, she does move her legs. I thought I just saw her. Yeah, look, she moves her legs. That's cool. We're missing, I think, 2 others. I think we're missing the mom, and I think we're missing either the brother or the sister. And we would have had it complete. But beggars can't be choosers because I found this in a random bag at Goodwill for like $1 or $2. Oh, I was really happy, guys, to find this cool toy from my childhood. This is from Tomy Toys. If you guys remember Tomy, Tomy makes a ton of toys back in the 70s, 80s. And they're basically Japanese-based toys. And this one, if you remember, the most famous one of these water toys was the one where the hoop goes into the rings. But everyone knows you can't win at those games because you're constantly blowing them out of the pegs. It doesn't work. And again, like this one, these are all time wasters. The secret you're getting, there's no secret. You just hit the buttons. You hit the button and a gust of air shoots out. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. As long as you got this thing full of water. And the surprising fact that this thing still holds water and isn't leaking is a testament to what type of awesome toys that Tomy used to make back in the day. These were made to last, man. These were really cool. And I'm glad to have found this for like 50 cents at my local Goodwill. This one's actually called Waterful Tic Tac. Now, I don't know how you're supposed to play Tic Tac with this. There's just absolutely no way in heck you can actually play Tic Tac with this, since there's no way that the balls can actually stay on there when you hit the button, as the water gushes the balls right out of the hole there. So that's kind of stupid. Okay, next up, I got really lucky on finding this, guys. This is from Whammo Toys. Now, if you guys remember Whammo, they are some of the coolest toy makers back in the 70s and 80s. One day, I can remember specifically a commercial. They made the slip and slide. You guys remember the slip and slide. I used to have a pair of these. Not this old. This sucker is old. What year is this one from? This one is from 1975. You could totally tell it's from the 70s just by looking at that artwork. Look at that old school artwork on there. It's by colored pencil. That's how old this box is. And for it to be in still great condition, look at that. Shows you everything illustrated. There's no pictures, it's all illustrations, guys. That's how old this is. It's just so cool. Now, basically, this is like a lacrosse, like a portable lacrosse for pretty much anybody to get into this. Now, I believe I'm missing a set of balls, no pun intended. But I believe this thing comes with 2 yellow balls and 2 white balls. So I'm missing 1, but at least I have 2 to start with. And here are the actual, I don't know what you would call these, paddles. You put this around so that you put this hoop around your wrist so that you don't actually, this is like a Wii control. This thing can go flying off your hand. So this is there to catch it in case it does. Basically, one guy goes on one end of the field, this goes on the other, one other guy goes to the other side of the field, and you just fling this thing. You can easily catch these balls in there. That's really cool. This is a really fun toy to have if you're at the park with your family or whatnot. This was a really popular toy back in the day. And what's cool about this toy is that it comes with the original 1975 instructions. Look at that. The paper's a little yellowed due to time, but this is awesome. This is the type of stuff I love seeing with the box. And for this to be in complete, well, I wouldn't say complete because it's still missing the balls, but the fact that it had its original instructions and 2 paddles with 2 balls, I'm excited. That was it for me. Okay, next up, I've been picking up board games left and right to take to Retropalooza because I sold a lot at the last Retro, and it's a really hot item. Board games are becoming a really hot item right now. I've noticed because I've sold a ton of them at the last 2 Retros, and these old, this isn't particularly old, but for the most part, a lot of the board games that I pick up are really ones that people are looking for. So that's why I picked these up to sell at Retro. And this one actually came sealed. This is Trivial Pursuits. Now, these Trivial Pursuits are everywhere. Everyone's donating them. Not all of them sell. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going around picking up all these Trivial Pursuits. The only reason I picked up this one was because it was the SNL edition, and 2, it was sealed, and 3, it was only $3. You can't beat that. Now, normally I would, now that I've got this table set up and I have a little area of space to show you guys the board games, I'm gonna do that now. But with this one being sealed, I'm not gonna open it up to do that. So yeah, if you're looking for this SNL DVD edition, Trivial Pursuit, I'm going to take this to Retro, so it'll be there for sale. And it's a Snap Action Baseball. I love these things back in the days, like, I think this was, let me see what day. This is from 1988. Now, these type of gifts were notorious Christmas fillers. Now, you did get a bunch of awesome toys growing up, but you needed filler. You couldn't get like 10 good gifts. It had to be like maybe 3 or 4 really good gifts and like 6 or 7 really filler gifts. And not all filler gifts were bad. This was one of the filler gifts that type of stuff I used to get. I used to get soccer play tables that were really small, but they were a lot of fun when you had people to play with. And if you had something like this, I'm sure it would have been fun to play with this as well. I'm going to take this out of the packaging. I'm going to set it up and we'll be right back. Okay guys, here it is. All the pieces are there. Oh my god. Actually, yeah, all three players. You got 3 figures here that represent the runners, or the people that's supposed to hit on each base. So there's 3 bases. So they gave you 3 figures to be on each base. Now, here is the strike, the batter box, where if it goes in here, it's going to be a strike. Obviously, if you miss, there's a trigger over here that hits the ball. Here, I think it's right here. Yeah, here it is. See, this hits the ball. I think you can even adjust. There you go. So if you pull this lever here, it hits the bat, and they give you these 2 little chrome steel beads, and you feed them into the pitching station. So you feed those. I'm sure they came with more balls because there's no way they'd only give you 2 balls, but 2 balls are missing. And it's really easy. There's a trigger back here that feeds the actual pitching stand there, and once I release this lever, I'm supposed to hit it with this. So see, and the ball's supposed to get hit. If you can make it somewhere out here, if you can hit it here, you get a double. If you hit it over here, which I highly doubt, there's no way for you to get it into this, you're an out. If you hit it here, you've got a single, you've got a triple, you've got an out, you got a single. The only way to hit a home run, which I have no idea how you could do that, seeing as there's no way, no clear path to get to this home run over here. There's just no way. You've got to go literally around this way and around this way, and there you go. That's how you score. I call bullshit on that, guys. There's no way for that to happen. But these are awesome old school toys that I used to love to get back in the day, and I'm glad I actually saved this one. There's a little tear right here on the cardboard field, but that's okay. You can still play it, and it's great for display. I love these old school toys. Okay, next up, I picked up another Trivial Pursuit that I thought was cool because it was 90s themed, and it says Time Capsule Edition, which I thought really cool. Now, I picked this one up because the actual board container, the board game container made out of steel, is in really good condition. Usually when you see these, they're always dented on the top or on the sides. Not this one. This one's in really good condition, and I'm gonna open this up, and I'm gonna set it up so that you guys can see. So give me a second. Okay guys, here's Trivial Pursuit 90s Time Capsule Edition. It comes with this box of cards with trivia questions on it, and they're all labeled with the year. And here, if you guys want to see some of the questions that are asked, you can pause the video and just read some of that. And it goes all throughout the 90s. This box has a box of just miscellaneous questions ranging from 1990 to 1999, and it's all represented here in this box of cards. And they give you these playing pieces where you just fit the card on there so that you have something to play on. And you can, I guess, from what I'm seeing in the back of the box, you just put a bunch of random cards in there. The game pieces are actually represented by these game pieces here. I guess they're all representative of like late or 90s technology. As you see, we have a Palm Pilot here. Remember these things? Oh my god, these things used to be so cool. Everybody wanted one. We have a struggling musician here, because most 90s rock musicians were struggling. So yeah, we have represented here is I'm gonna say Nirvana, Kurt Cobain looks like, but don't quote me on that. We have a, what is this? .com stock. Oh, that's really messed up. It's making fun of all the .comers that went bankrupt during the 1990s. Everyone thought they could do a startup with a .com. Here we have the Palm Pilot, like we said before, and we have a cappuccino. Yeah, a cappuccino, guys. And here we have some of the game pieces. I don't know what this all entails. I didn't read the instructions, so I don't know how to play this. And it comes with I don't know how many sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 10-sided dice. So there you have it, guys. This is all that the Trivial Pursuit 90s Time Capsule Edition entails inside the game board box. Alright guys, next up and lastly, I have this Wild Anopoly. I think that's how you say Animalopoly. I've been picking up a ton of these Monopoly board games all over my thrift stores. I have a bunch of Monopoly themed games, and I picked this one up for a couple bucks. I love these old school, not old school, but these different variations of Monopoly board games. I have a lot of them. The animal one is one that I've never seen before. I have a bunch more that I will be showing you in an upcoming video. And I'm going to go ahead and set this one up for you guys to show you guys. Like I said, now that I've got this open area, I'm going to show you this really, really cool board game in its better glory, guys. Because it's just showing you the box does it no justice. So let me get to that. Okay, guys, here it is all set up. I just wanted to show you the different types of variations of Monopoly clones that are out there. And these boards are really cool. And I love seeing the different pieces that they use for all the different boards that I find for Monopoly. And here are some of the differences. They use these little glass pebbles representing the houses. So you use these for the houses, which is really cool because the houses, as you know in Monopoly, are green. So they use these green pebbles to represent that. And the hotels are represented by these white ones. So that's really cool. And it comes with a whole bag full of these. This is really cool. I love the bag that it comes with. It's really unique. And the dice that they use are made out of wood. Check that out. They're made out of wood. That's really cool. It works just as good. The actual pieces are the gaming pieces are represented right here with just a block of wood, a bamboo type of chute, a little seashell, like a little rock salt there, and those are all the thimbles that you use for the game board pieces, which is really cool, really unique. I really, really like this. And the money, of course, being represented by the denominations of the USD dollar, which is really cool. And there are the instructions in case you didn't already know how to play Monopoly or any type of version of Monopoly. The instructions are on top there. So here it is, already set up and ready to go. So let's move on to the next one. Well, there you have it, guys. My epic toy haul for the last couple weeks. I've got more on the way, so keep on the lookout for that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you guys like this video, hit that like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.
Now stay tuned for The Amazing Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk. A bad guy poses as Spider-Man and goes on a crime spree, but can he fool the Spider Friends? Next. Tonight on Different Strokes, will Willis be voted prom queen? Then on Jennifer Slept Here, Jennifer says yes to an old flame, but will she say I do? Be there.